Do you guys know why you're having such a hard time saying no? It's because you haven't came up with a vision construction and a purpose generation. It's all linked to that. So there's two ways that you can try to say no to something, right? One is just sheer willpower. You can just try to do the whole like, no, I'm not gonna. But the problem with that is we're rebellious by nature, and that creates resistance, right? So now you're just like doing this to the thing. You're gonna want to do it, and you're going, sheer willpower, just don't think about it, think about something else, just don't do the thing. And that's very hard. That takes a lot of discipline. Some people can pull that shit off, but that's a very hard way to do it. The other way is to flip in your mind that it's not something that you want to do, that you can't do, but it's now something that you don't want to do anymore. And the only way to do that is say, this is not something I want to do anymore because it gets in the way of all these other things that I would like to do more than that. That's the easiest way to quit something. It's the easiest way to quit something. Because then when the desire comes up, it's pretty easy to go, you know what? No, because our minds really operate from the frame of because that's going to get in the way of all these other things. Or that's not how I want my child to view me. That's not how I want to be seen at work. That's going to get in the way of my emotional stress management. That's going to get in the way of me making money. That's going to get in the way of me being fit. With diet, you guys are like, with the diet thing, that's the biggest thing. That's going to get in the way of my results. Eating this food, it's not, I want to eat this food and I fucking can't. It's, I don't want to eat that food anymore because that food is going to make me feel bad. That food is going to make me have a harder time exercising tomorrow. That food's going to negate the results that I'm going to get from the exercise I did today. So it's because it's shifting. That's why I keep talking about replacement. You're subtracting things, but you need to replace them with the positive, equal, and opposite thing. You just need to replace that because then you're not constantly just telling yourself no from a sense of willpower and trying to be like so fucking mentally and spiritually tough when you aren't. And that's always going to set yourself up for failure. And then you're going to regress. And then you lose self-confidence, self-trust, self-honesty. Does that make sense? So think about it that way. That's a very important paradigm shift. It's not, I really want to do these things and I can't. It's, you need to come up with a way to go, I don't want to do those things anymore. That's why when you go on the journey of getting sober, that everyone says you hit a rock bottom. A rock bottom is where most people decide they're going to get sober, right? What is a rock bottom for substances? A rock bottom for substances is my life is so fucking terrible that I don't want to do these things anymore because these things are the reason that my life is this terrible. So the actual physical compression from your life not being where you want and negative consequences being stacked one on top of the other, mental, spiritual unhappiness, and then physical decline and decay. You hit a point where getting those things figured out is much more important to you than fucking continuing to get all fucked up, right? So at that point, for a lot of people, it shifts over into this new way of thinking of, oh, I don't want to do these substances anymore. And as soon as you have that thought, it's going to be easier to quit. In the beginning phases, the reason people stay in the pocket of fuckery for so long is because the desire to do the thing still heavily outweighs the desire to live a life of purpose. And that's because it takes a long period of time for some people for the consequences to kind of add up. These negative things to kind of pile up and to become so glaring that you go, oof, this sucks. That's why we always say like addiction is a progressive disease. It gets worse and worse in multiple ways. your life starts to decline, but also your tolerance starts to go up. So it's harder to get that feeling off of the substances as it used to be. And now all of a sudden you're kind of just in this loop of chasing this fucking endless non-happy spiral of like, I guess I'll just do this just to feel even remotely okay because all the rest of my life feels terrible. But just understand that. That's why when you do get into the zone of, I'm going to start subtracting these things out. I want to quit this thing. That it can't just be that simple. It can't just be, I don't want to do this thing anymore. It needs to be, I don't want to do this thing anymore because this is what it gets in the way of. That's why it's so good to have a personal mission statement or to think about what you want your life to look like. If you think about what you want your life to look like, then you can start going, oh, that doesn't fit in that plan. This doesn't fit in that plan. This is not serving me towards this plan. Instead of going, oh, I really want to do all this bullshit and I guess I need to stop it. That's never going to be the best way to go about it. So just think about that. Hit me up if you need any help. If you need any help with the sobriety thing or Xing some stuff out of your life, habits in general, that's something I can talk you through. So hit me up. I appreciate y'all. Keep grinding. Keep working at it forever. I promise all the shit works.